with right now, and I'm sharing it because I'd like to think that I'm not the only one going through this shit. Because this is a very lonely, isolated addiction, and you know, it's not like any other addiction. It's not like drug addiction. It's not like alcohol abuse, where like typically yeah, that person's a drug addict. Yeah, that person's dealing with overconsumption of alcohol. This is like, there is an aspect of maybe shame with this addiction, and that's why people don't talk about it. And I'm gonna talk about it because, man, it's really fucking difficult, dude.
The downfall we really never saw coming in a million years. Mr. Dylan McKnight. The thing about a lot of YouTubers in today's age is that a lot of them set themselves for failure by putting a high standard on their image. They make it seem like they are elite influencers who, I guess, figured out life and portray themselves living a glamorous life, but behind the camera are just people with probably messed up problems like Hamza, a man we all thought could be trusted, but this whole time he was a fraud and never about what he preached, and apparently he was a fake natural this whole time, but still doesn't own up to it fully. So you see how fake the internet can become. There's literally levels to this shit, guy.
Entire video he made was just in reaction to the text that I wrote. Just this title is insulting enough. Imagine your old best friend says that about you.
Hamza Ahmed is a narcissistic, disingenuous man-child. That's the title of his friend's video. He's telling you the behind the scenes a little bit and said, you know what?
Hamza, if you're watching this video, don't respond to this video. I will bury you, Hamza.
It's just like when Jeff Nippod started talking smack about Solomon. Solomon said, really? You ain't seen nothing yet. And so he brought the Nipstein files.
If you want to bury me, if you want to go and expose every bit of my private details, bro, honestly, you could destroy my life. Go ahead.
Hamza, who has over 2 million followers, he couldn't let it slide. No, I don't care. I don't care what he knows about me. I have to say my part. And so he lied. Lied about so many things in this video. And so Sam made a response video over an hour long, and so unless you've watched all this, I don't have the time to go over all of it. It'd be a 2-hour Netflix documentary. You have to simply go and watch it.
Hamza, if you entered a call with your best friend, someone who means so much to you, to gain clarity, why did you record the call?
This call, remember from a concerned friend? He recorded it. Oh, I want to talk to you. You know, we used to be best friends. Let's get on a call. I really want to help you. Records the call. If you just really care about your friend, are you going to record that call and take snippets of it and then put it in your video to attack that person?
So to those who do not know Dylan McKnight, he is a popular fitness YouTuber who made one of the most relatable and humorous content in YouTube, with also a combination of fitness.
So we know carb cycling makes you look good, but how does it work? Nobody gives a shit about that science crap, man. Just tell them how it works. Yeah, well, I think I'd rather educate my viewers and teach them how it works, but thanks for the input, man. So how carb cycling works is carbs make you retain water. If you eat too many carbs, you're gonna hold an excessive amount of water, which makes you look bloated, thereby making you look fat when you're not really fat. It's just that water from the excess carbs creating a thick layer underneath your skin, basically concealing any muscle definition you have or could be showing if it wasn't for that water. These past couple of days, I've just been enjoying food and eating a lot more carbs than I normally would. This is my current physique after eating just a lot more carbs than I normally do. You can literally just see the water on my waist right here. I did this to show you guys the effect that carb manipulation has on the body. So starting now, we're gonna drastically lower how many carbs I'm eating. Then 3 days from now, we'll check back in and we'll see how my body looks after 3 days on a low carb diet.
Dylan showcased a unique story of the video and finished off with a classic workout video at the end, which really brings a lot of nostalgia. I won't really lie on this one.
This man is the OG of cold water training, and he's largely responsible for its popularity today. So I did a little bit of reading up on this Wim Hof guy, and it turns out he's just a huge advocate of cold water therapy, cold water training, and all the benefits thereof. But I actually did extensive research on cold water training, and by that, I mean I googled it. But after reading all the health benefits, I was truly inspired to follow in the footsteps of Wim Hof.
What is he doing out there?
So today is day 1, and for 7 days I will be taking cold showers. And on day 7, I'll be taking my efforts to this freezing cold pond to see if I've truly mastered cold water training.
Dylan shared a lot of things about his life, like how he used to skate as a kid, being bullied, having no friends, and even documenting his body transformation, which helped bond with his entire fan base incredibly.
Years primarily consisted of skateboarding and having no friends. Yeah. I acquire skills in a ton of little random things, and it's because growing up, instead of playing with friends and doing normal stuff, I did weird shit. For example, archery. Close enough. I can do this. Karate? Check out this 360 tornado kick. I can frickin' tightrope. But I tried so hard to fit in. I wanted to be normal, and I wanted to have normal social experiences that I saw others engaging in. But I'm not normal. My mom tells me I'm just different. I'm just kidding. But I truly have reached some sort of catharsis with it all. You know, all my life I've thought, man, I need to be more social. Man, I need to make more friends. Man, I need to surround myself with a good friend group because the last thing I want in this world is to be alone. And I've had the most simple yet groundbreaking idea. And it's brought me so much relief. Maybe this is who I am. You know, maybe the very thing I've been fighting against this whole time is the very thing I'm destined to be. Alone. Am I having a midlife crisis?
So with the relatability Dylan had on his channel, he convinced himself to speak on his porn addictions growing up and gave tips on how to avoid jerking the wiener. This was helpful and made an even bigger bond with his audience since when gooning has become a worldwide epidemic.
Pornography or masturbation until I was 17, almost 18 years old. And given the male sex hormone testosterone peaks around the age of 18, this left me dangerously vulnerable to addiction. And fast forward some time, for the past 4 years I've been heavily addicted to pornography and masturbation, and it has messed me up, man. Hey man, you okay? Here, you need a tissue, man? I found these next to your nightstand by that lotion. You know, this video is not going to be me trying to make some effort to convince you that you shouldn't be watching porn. I mean, that's pretty much common sense, I'd assume. We all know that we shouldn't do it, yet we still do.
But then things took a turn when Dylan opened up that he took Sarms, which is a steroid to help his physique look sharper.
Your friend. I never asked to be pedestalized. I never asked for any of that. So I want to make it very clear. In this video, I will not be apologizing for a mistake I made. I'm simply owning up to that mistake and taking accountability as a man. And that is why you will not hear me say sorry today. Because the truth of the matter is, right, is making this video right now is debatably one of the most selfless things I have ever done in my entire life. You know, the real truth of it is that I could continue to lie about this, keep making money from it, and none of you would ever know, just as most of your favorite fitness influencers do. And do you know why they do that? Sure, yes, some of them likely use it for financial and social gain, of course. But the real reason is because the fitness industry is toxic as shit. I am going to be crucified for this shit. And that is why people are so afraid to talk about it. Logistically speaking, this is a very stupid decision I'm making to talk about this.
Doing absolutely nothing.
The real truth of it is that I could continue to lie about this, keep making money from it, and none of you would ever know. I am going to be crucified for this shit.
And so he's saying, look, I could keep lying. By saying this, I'm going to be crucified for it, or perhaps lose money. But in reality, is that actually true? Since when has being honest been bad in the fitness industry? When people come out and make apologies for things they've done, do you really think it's hurt them? Even the Liver King being outed, exposed, and making a fake apology, even the Liver King continues to excel. And so I certainly don't think that by Dylan saying, I used PEDs 3 years ago, of which I only used this much, I only took a half a pill, I only did it for 6 weeks, and that's way back then, and it didn't affect me now, that's going to hurt him. If anything, I saw him copping out. If anything, how do we know he's not lying about what he took? Oh, I took half of a tab of Ostrine. It was 15 milligrams. I took half of a tab, 7.5 milligrams. You know, less than most women take. And oh, it made such a difference. As I dieted down, I kept all my size. Look completely full.
Dylan, since when he showed so much himself online, he seemed very off, and not him in that video. He said he wouldn't apologize and revealed a side no one has seen from Mr. Dylan McKnight. And since that video, it has never been the same for Dylan. Fans feel completely confused on who the true Dylan McKnight is, all because of the way he acted on that steroid video. Dylan would later drop a video breaking down in tears that he is a serious, he has a serious goon addiction, and he spent about $20,000 on OnlyFans, which set his career even way down.
It sucks not being able to feel or give love. I've tried relationships and they just fucking fail. Because I'm a monster, I can't feel anything. Sometimes I feel like I'm a sociopath, something fucked like that. And eventually you accept what you are. So you do what you can to feel something. Because all you ever feel is nothing. So in an effort just to feel some kind of intimacy, feel something, I started paying girls in real life to do things. And what really jacked me up is one of the girls, she started catching feelings. And it's damn, how do you tell this girl, sorry, I can't feel anything, I'm a fucking monster. The last girl that
opening up about a problem we all go through and looking for solutions is acceptable, but breaking down in tears and losing your mind just kills the hope for young kids who look up to Dylan McKnight.
100,000 subscribers, I decided that this just wasn't for me. It kind of hit me last year when I realized, yeah, I have 700,000 subscribers, but I have 0 friends, I have no social or dating life, I'm having frequent suicidal thoughts, and I hated myself and I hated my life. So yeah, it's on paper, I have 700,000 subscribers, I have money, I have a cool car, I have everything I ever wanted, and yet still somehow I'm so miserable. I never understood how, when people say you could have everything and nothing at the same time, I never really understood that. It never made much sense to me, that concept.
And as of now, his channel hasn't revived properly. I believe it was from inconsistency because he felt embarrassed for lying to his fans. But end of day, no one really cared if he was not natty or natty. People generally watched him because he was humorous. I feel like what Dylan went wrong is thinking that him lying and being an elite gooner is his image, and basically accepting that this is his downfall. But it was never his downfall. It was all in his head. There was never no downfall. It was just all in his head. And I think he just took the steroid video very seriously, the whole world suddenly hated him, but no one really gives a damn. Right now, he made another video explaining further about his gooning problems, and this has just killed this channel even more. We have to stop this movement of sharing to the world that you goon 45 times a day. We all have our own problems, not gooning problems, but we all have our own problems we're dealing with, and watching that won't just instantly cure gooning addiction, but what will is entertainment videos, entertainment content. So Dylan, bring back the old school content where you're just doing backflips and just giving us some crazy intellectual thoughts and just being Dylan, and stop really thinking that this is your image. I am the elite gooner and I'm a steroid, a fake natty. Just We don't care if you're not natural. Yeah, you have your gooning problems, but just keep that away. YouTube is not meant to be crying about your problems. We all have our own crash outs mentally, alright? So, yeah, bring back the old school, quit the gooning videos, but enough yapping. Peace out.
In January, but most of my friends, for the most part, they're married or they have kids. And I just don't think that's ever in the cards for me to get married or to have kids, just because of the effects that this addiction has truly had on me. Quite frankly, at the time of recording this, I'm not even sexually attracted to women in real life. You know, there is a hole in me. If I had to guess, probably caused by the 10 years of consuming pornographic content, compounded with masturbation, and not a neuroscientist, right? I just think maybe 10 years of programming, and now my brain is deeply kind of wired to only get off to that shit, right? Porn and masturbation. I cried hysterically the last video I made about this shit, and I'm not gonna cry again. If I do, I'm just gonna turn the cameras off. But yeah, man, I used to be so incredibly attracted to women. I had normal, healthy sex drive, like any teenage boy. I was a normal kid, but I was raised in a very religious household, and where we were taught essentially that those sexual urges, they were bad, and under no circumstance to ever act on those sexual urges. So, you know, essentially I was turning to porn and masturbation instead, just to get some kind of sexual release, right?